All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about something truly incredible, your heart. And look, it's so much more than just a simple pump. It's this brilliant master regulator that's constantly making tiny adjustments, all without you ever having to think about it.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about that? How does your heart know to go wild when you're sprinting for a bus but then beat slow and steady when you're taking a nap? How does it manage to get it right every single time? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to answer today.
So, to understand this whole thing, you need to know about our main character for today, cardiac output. It's pretty simple, really. It's just the total amount of blood your heart pumps out every single minute. And pretty much everything we're about to talk about, it's all designed to make sure this one number, cardiac output, perfectly matches what your body needs from 1 second to the next.
And that really brings us to the heart's number one job. It has one core mission, making sure that blood flow is never too much, never too little, but always perfectly dialed in for whatever it is you're doing.
Okay, so how does it pull off this incredible balancing act? Well, it basically has three main levers it can pull. It can change its rate, how fast it beats. It can adjust the stroke volume, that's how much blood gets pushed out with each beat. And it can change the force of its contraction, basically how hard it squeezes. Those three things, they're the key to everything.
Now this is where it starts to get really cool. Your heart has its own intelligence, a built-in, totally automatic regulation system. This is the heart just doing its thing on its own without any orders from the brain. Think of it like a self-regulating engine. And this self-regulation all comes down to something called the Frank-Starling law. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a rubber band. The more blood that comes into the heart and stretches it out, the more forcefully it's going to snap back and push that blood out. It's that simple and that elegant. More blood in equals a stronger pump out.
So let's zoom in on that rubber band effect for a second. When more blood flows back to the heart, it literally stretches the heart's muscle fibers. And on a microscopic level, that stretching actually helps these tiny protein filaments inside the muscle line up in a more perfect way, which allows for a much, much more powerful squeeze. It's a purely mechanical, genius response.
But, the heart isn't just an island doing its own thing. It's also wired directly into the body's main command center, the nervous system. And this is where external control comes into play, giving your body the power to instantly take the wheel and fine-tune the heart's performance. And this system is basically a constant tug of war between two sides. You've got the sympathetic system, that's your body's gas pedal. It kicks in during exercise or when you're stressed, releasing norepinephrine to make your heartbeat faster and stronger. But then you have the parasympathetic system, which is the brake pedal. It uses a different chemical, acetylcholine, to slow things down when you're just chilling out. This constant push and pull gives your body incredibly precise control.
Okay, so we've got a gas pedal and a brake pedal. But how does the driver, your brain, know when to use them? Well, it's listening to a super sophisticated network of sensors, giving it real-time data, and it can also send out messengers that act like body-wide alerts.
So this network is built on reflexes, which are really just automatic feedback loops. And one of the most critical ones is the baroreceptor reflex. You can think of these baroreceptors as tiny pressure gauges scattered throughout your arteries, constantly monitoring your blood pressure.
Let's walk through it. Say your blood pressure suddenly gets too high. Those little pressure sensors, the baroreceptors, get stretched out. They fire off an urgent signal straight to the brain that basically says, "Whoa, pressure's too high." And what does the brain do? It immediately slams on the parasympathetic brake pedal to slow the heart down and bring that pressure back into a safe range.
And of course, it works the other way too. You know that feeling when you stand up too fast and get a little lightheaded? That's your blood pressure dropping for a second. Instantly, those same sensors relax and send another signal. Pressure's too low. The brain hits the sympathetic gas pedal, speeding up your heart and increasing its force to push that pressure right back up. It all happens in less than a second. It's just incredible.
Now, on top of all that, the body also uses chemical messengers, or hormones. The most famous one, of course, is adrenaline. When you're in a real fight or flight situation, your body just floods your system with it. And it really is like an emergency broadcast, telling your heart and the rest of your cardiovascular system to go on high alert and prepare for intense action right now.
Okay, so let's put it all together. We have the heart's own internal system, we have the nervous system's gas and brake pedals, and we have hormonal alerts. How do all these things work together like a symphony when you, say, start exercising?
To really see the big picture, we just need to quickly touch on three key factors for every single heartbeat. First is preload, and hey, we already know that one. That's the stretch, the Frank Starling rubber band effect. Second is contractility, which is just the raw squeezing power of the heart muscle, and that's what gets boosted by the gas pedal. And then finally, there's afterload.
Afterload is actually a really simple concept. Just imagine you're trying to push open a heavy door, but there's a strong wind pushing back against you. That resistance from the wind, that's exactly what afterload is for the heart. It's the pressure in the arteries that the heart has to overcome to get the blood out.
So picture it. You start running. Right away, your muscles start pumping way more blood back to your heart. That increases the preload, the stretch. At the same time, your brain slams on the sympathetic gas pedal, cranking up your heart rate and its contractility. And when you combine all of these things working in perfect harmony, the result is that your cardiac output can increase by a staggering 4 to 7 times what it is at rest. Just incredible.
And your heart performs this unbelievably complex symphony, not just when you exercise, but with every single beat, all day long. We're talking over 100,000 times a day. This beautiful dance of mechanics, nerves, and hormones keeps you going. So it kind of leaves you with one last question to think about. With all these incredible systems working together, what part of it is the most amazing to you?